How do you prevent accidental JavaScript object modification? Imagine building a house with fragile walls that can be knocked down easily. That's what accidental changes to your JavaScript objects can feel like. Today, we're going to explore how to keep your objects safe from unintended edits. First, think about the const keyword. When you declare an object with const, you cannot reassign the variable to a new object. But the tricky part is, you can still change the properties inside that object. So, const alone doesn't fully protect your object from modifications. Next, there is a method called object prevent extensions. This stops new properties from being added to your object. It's like sealing the walls of your house so no new rooms can be built. However, existing properties can still be changed or removed, so it's not a complete lock. Then we have object seal. Sealing an object is like putting a lock on the doors and windows. You cannot add or delete properties anymore, but you can still change the values of the existing ones. It's useful when you want the shape of your object to stay the same but still allow updates to the data. The strictest method is object freeze. Freezing an object makes it completely unchangeable. You cannot add, delete, or modify any property. Think of it as turning your object into a solid block of ice that won't melt or change. This is perfect for configuration data or constants that should stay the same throughout your program. You can also control individual properties with object-defined property. This method lets you set attributes like writable, false, and configurable, false. When you do this, that property becomes read-only and cannot be deleted. It's like putting a lock on a specific door to prevent accidental opening or changing. Another tip is to avoid property name collisions. When adding new properties, choose unique names that don't clash with inherited ones. This way, you prevent accidentally overwriting important properties from the prototype chain, which can cause bugs in your code. In real-world web development, you might freeze an object holding your app settings to make sure they don't change. Or, you could seal an object that contains data from an API response, so its structure stays intact but you can still update the values. Using object prevent extensions helps when you want to keep the object shape but allow some flexibility. Defining specific properties as read-only with object-defined property is great for critical data that must not be altered. By combining these techniques, you can protect your objects from accidental changes. This keeps your code predictable and easier to maintain. Remember, choosing the right method depends on what kind of protection you need for each object.